Mother Nature unleashing right as pretty much they opened the ticket gate. They had been putting the water to it because obviously it had not done anything in the forecast. But luckily the crew, everybody here, Justin, Kathy, they do such a great job of managing and getting this track going week in and week out. They know what they're doing, and they were able to get it going here tonight. So the field will begin to fire onto the back straightaway, and Matt Westfall in that number 33M. Set to be on the pole this one. 1 year ago, finished 18th here at the Grove. Had a best finish last year of 9th. He did it twice. Big Diamond finished in that 9th place finish. Correct myself, 2022. He had a 9th place finish up in New Jersey. So a 9th, an 18th, an 11th, and a 19th to end out last year. So far, 16th, 12th, and 16th to open up Eastern Storm for the driver number 33.
Yeah, Matt Westfall most likely headed into Port Royal tomorrow with a sense of confidence. Almost got that one bagged up with the Silver Crown Series last year until Logan Seavey came along and kind of rained on his parade a little bit. So I'm guessing itching to get back to Port Royal, knowing that they've got a pretty good package there.
One of 28 drivers on the entry list that was put out earlier this week. And, of course, you can find that on USAC's Twitter and Facebook pages. Make sure and follow those to keep up on everything going on. Richie does a fantastic job of providing information throughout the week, throughout the racing program. And he's somebody, not just because he's sitting there giving me funny looks, he's somebody that does not get enough credit for what he does behind the scenes. He's the PR director for USAC. He is the historian. It is amazing the amount of work and information that he puts into his job.
He has a wealth of walking information, and I can guarantee you could ask him nearly any question. Nearly, I'll say that. And he has an answer for you, and it's right. It's correct.
So do want to make sure and recognize the people behind the scenes that provide us with all the information we use.
He's a media icon.
Working on a Hall of Fame career. Brady Bacon to go outside of row number 1. Started his Eastern Storm off with a pair of podiums, including the win up at Bridgeport. Last night, a little bit of a snafu. Got into the left rear tire. Justin Grant just got the car spun around. Ended up with an 18th place finish, but still not a bad run so far, -1.9.
Well, you talk about all the guys who are up there in Eastern Storm points and in Amsoil USAC National Championship points who have had a night like that. And so it really just kind of levels the playing field when a guy like Brady Bacon does have an off night like he had last night at Big Diamond Speedway. It doesn't lose him too much ground because everybody does have one at one point or another.
Well, let's look at your points leader, Logan Seavey, and the run that he's had. 19 feature starts so far, this being night number 20, has 6 wins, a dozen podiums, 13 top 5s, and 15 top 10s. His average finish is not first. It's actually closer to 6th because he's had those nights where he either is at the front or he's a DNF.
And that consistency is what you're looking for. And Brady said it the other night after he picked up that win at Bridgeport Speedway. And we talked about the comeback that he's made in the points this year. After Florida, things were not looking so optimistic for the 69. But since then, he's kind of made that climb back up in points. And all of a sudden, there he is, sort of out of nowhere. And he said it then. You just show up each night and try to win a race and hope for the best.
He doesn't have the wins, but like you said, he has the consistency. He has 10 podiums, just as many top 5s and 13 top 10s. He has an average finish of 7th. So not bad, considering the guy that's leading the points is one spot better than him on average.
Yeah, it's not that different. So, of course, Brady Bacon going to start outside the front row of Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Picked up a win with the Silver Crown Series. We were talking about that with Matt Westfall at Port Royal Speedway. That one was here at Williams Grove with Klatt Enterprises' Bob East just a few years ago. So, obviously been racing here at Williams Grove for some time, Brady Bacon, and he's got some experience here.
I think in the Silver Crown ranks, if you ask him, is your chassis a beast, it doesn't matter. The answer is probably yes.
Probably. There's a handful out there that are not, but for the most part.
Of course, Bob East and Terry Klatt, they have been iconic members of the open wheel racing community. Carson Garrett, Robert Ballou in that second row. Kevin Thomas Jr., Logan Seavey, speaking of him, going to start on the outside of row number 3. Stephen Dravicki and Carmen Perigo, his first start of Eastern Storm. Expect to see him on track tomorrow as well in Silver Crown competition. So the caution lights are down. Past the iconic bridge on the back straightaway we go. The NOS Energy start can off of turn number 4. That is the starting point for these drivers. Westfall in 33. Going to bring him around to the pole position. They find the throttle. We get after it here. Brady Bacon getting the shot on the outside. Going to take off at the top spot. Robert Ballou going to follow him up into second as they work on the turns 1 and 2.
The outside where you wanted to be on this one is Logan Seavey's going to get a good jump into 4th place as well. Matt Westfall falls back to 3rd, but that outside road did take off with between Brady Bacon, Robert Ballou, and Logan Seavey.
So Brady Bacon going to lead him up to the high side of turns 3 and 4. Dance in the front end around. The car gets just a little bit tight on him there as they worked off at turn number 4. You saw him having to turn the car back in. He was tied off the left rear as it kind of crept up the racetrack. Robert Ballou not close enough to try to capitalize on it. Ballou running a little bit different line. He's actually cutting the car in the middle of turn number 2. Saw him shoot to the back straightaway. Going to catch a couple of car links up on the 69 as they work into turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he does that line again. Their turns 3 and 4. Not quite. Sticks it more to the outside. Bacon leading. Ballou running in 2nd. Westfall running in 3rd. Seavey running in 4th. Battle for the 5th spot. Maybe.
So Kevin Thomas Jr. all over the bumper of Carson Garrett. It's Kevin Thomas Jr.'s birthday today. If you see him, wish him a happy birthday. He's going to look for 5th position over Carson Garrett as they head into turn number 3.
Even better, buy a T-shirt.
That's a good idea.
There we go. He's going to try to close into the 15 here as they work around to the front straightaway. Right now, he is sitting in that all-important final transfer into the inversion. Not the feature, but into the inversion for the feature. So he's wanting to hold on to that. He's going to have Perigo and Dravicki chasing him as they work onto the back straightaway. Coming around to the midpoint in this one. Cross flag is going to be displayed. We'll have 4 in, 4 to go. Brady Bacon so far has been untouchable in this one. He leads by 1.443 seconds. In the J. Davidson scrap metal, Telstar Technologies, Davis Brothers, number 69. Last year had a 13th place finish here at Williams Grove. Has 3 wins on the season. Most recently we mentioned at Bridgeport. Before that, Circle City on May 22nd. He started off the season win list with a wing on with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. That was on April 4th up at Tri-State.
Brady Bacon's still going to lead this one by quite some distance over Robert Ballou. He knows he's got some breathing room. Brady Bacon probably just trying to get this one, bring it home so he can make sure he seals up a better starting position in tonight's feature event at Williams Grove Speedway. He can hear when somebody gets close, and right now, Robert Ballou not quite there.
1.579 seconds trailing. Oh, Ballou got that right rear up over the fluff a little bit there over in the exit turn number 2. Saw him kind of pick the car up and then set down hard. That's going to cost him here as they come around to the wave of the white flag. 1 to go here in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Brady Bacon continue to do Brady Bacon things here as he leads the way. 2.113 seconds over Robert Ballou. Westfall, Seavey, Garrett, Thomas, Perigo, Dravicki still running out your field.
Carson Garrett has pulled away from Kevin Thomas Jr., has caught up to points leader Logan Seavey as they head into turn number 3 for the final time. Doesn't seem like he's got quite enough to make anything happen. Brady Bacon's going to take home the checkered flag.
So Bacon getting the win. Robert Ballou crossing in 2nd. Westfall crossing in 3rd. Logan Seavey, Carson Garrett, Kevin Thomas Jr., Carmen Perigo, and Stephen Dravicki unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he hails out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He pilots the J. Davidson Scrap Metal, Rider Power, Triple X Chassis, Telstar Technologies, Davis Brothers, Fatheads, Hobson Family, Dynamic number 69. Give him a hand, Brady Bacon. Robert Ballou in 2nd, Matt Westfall in 3rd, Logan Seavey, Carson Garrett, Kevin Thomas Jr., Carmen Perigo, and Stephen Dravicki. Rounding out your field as we take it down trackside to Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. The Macho Man, Brady Bacon, 13th on the field in Honest Abe Roofing, qualifying not what he wanted at all. And Brady, I know you don't come here to run 13th, so what kind of adjustments did you make to this race car after Honest Abe Roofing qualifying? Because it was absolutely untouchable.
Not going out first was our biggest adjustment. It was just a little greasy those first couple cars after it sat right when we went qualifying. So just got faster and faster. I knew we were in trouble when I went out, and just hoping to do this to kind of redeem ourselves and win our heat.
And he does it for the 2nd night in a row and collects his 6th heat race win on the season here in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1.
Thank you very much. Ronda Supply Heat Race number 2 set to make its way out to the racing surface. It'll begin to fire the back straightaway. Driver of the pole this one, well, he's out of Buckeye, Arizona, the MP Environmental. Spider Crane, AME Electrical, FKND, Stanton Power Triple X number 47. That's going to be Charles Davis Jr. Next to him, right up the road in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania, driver of the JPA Masonry, Newman's Triple X Chassis, Amantia Real Estate, Stinger Race Fuels number 88J. That is Joey Amantia. Next row from the inside, it'll be Alex Bright at Collegeville, Pennsylvania, the Heaven Racing Enterprises, Lelands.com, DriveToBFX.com, Rider Triple X Chassis number 27. And from the 4th starting spot, it's going to be Chase Stock, and he's at a Fort Branch, Indiana, driver of the Bandit Ag, Davis Brothers, Fisher DRC Chassis number 5S. Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Boulevard Truck Repair Rider, DRC Chassis, E. Schneider & Sons Recycling, number 39. He'll roll from the 5th starting spot. And outside of him, it'll be Dason Pursley. He's out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Apache Transport, RSS Industries, Durabuilt Performance, Team Arizona Racing, number 21, AZ. Final row from the inside in 24. That's going to be Hunter Maddox, the Auto Credit, Airmaster Heating and AC, Cummings Power, DRC Chassis, Johnny Signs, number 24M. And your final starter comes to you out of Troy, Ohio, in the Evolution Coatings and Automotive, Ideal Auto Sales, Myers DRC number 1H. That is Corbin Hayslett. That'll be your scheduled lineup here in Ronda Supply Heat Race number 2 of 3 with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. Again, 8 times around. Still want to be inside the top 6 in order to set the lineup in the feature event.
So Briggs Danner, Alex Bright, and Joey Amantia in this Rod and Supply Heat Race number 2. Those 3 have been the story when it comes to local Pennsylvania drivers that have been up for the challenge this week so far, especially Briggs Danner picking up night number 1 of Eastern Storm over at Grandview Speedway, and then Alex Bright collecting his first career Honest Abe Roofing Fast qualifying award just yesterday at Big Diamond Speedway.
So Briggs Danner, 4th year behind the wheel of a sprint car, actually started in the 358 Modifieds up at Grandview and Big Diamond. His first night in a sprint car was at Bridgeport in 2020. And went to Victory Lane.
It's quite impressive.
A couple of people have said his nickname is The Natural.
I've heard that.
So we'll see what the 2-time USAC East Coast champion can do in this one. Again, we'll start inside of row number 3. Alex Bryan, the number 27 machine, mentioned him picking up the quick qualifying time for the first time in his career last night. And on top of that, it was a huge turnaround for his week. First top 5 of Eastern Storm for the driver, the number 27.
Altogether, a really solid night that they were able to put together last night. And often that is the most challenging part of the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car format, is putting together a cohesive night between Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, your heat race, and then 30 laps of a feature event. It's a lot of laps to make sure you're not making any mistakes, which is really hard to do.
So Kevin Thomas going to be signing autographs at his trailer down in the infield, that T-shirt trailer after the heat races. Come by, tell him happy birthday. Buy a T-shirt. While you're down there, you might want to also ask him about Inferno Armor. I know that has been quite the topic of conversation lately. It is the official fire prevention solution of the United States Auto Club. And I can tell you from experience at the Tulsa shootout, holding that material in my hand and actually putting a torch to it, not being able to feel it, yeah, it definitely works. Field off of turn number 4, past the NOS Energy start can. Ooh, look out. Thought they were going to tap tires on the front straightaway between Davis and Amantia. Davis going to take off on the 47. Picked up a heat race win a couple of nights ago. As a battle for the second spot, lurking into turns 3 and 4. Stocken looked like he was going to get a run to the inside. Thought better if it goes back to the tire tracks to the 88J, but Charles Davis taking off.
Chase Stocken going to hang out in the 3rd position right now as Charles Davis Jr. gets into turn number 1. Joey Amantia following him, and Alex Bright, Dason Pursley catching up with the 5S of Chase Stocken. Alex Bright might have something here as we head into turn number 3.
Bright tried to take a look to the inside. Nothing happening for him there at the exit. Turn number 2. Going to adjust his line a little bit the entry of 3. Brings it out wide right in the tire tracks here as they work off of turn number 4. It'll continue to be Charles Davis Jr. leading. Amantia running in 2nd. Stocken, Bright, Pursley, Danner. That's your top 6. Hayslett, Maddox right now running at your running order. Charles Davis on a breakaway right now. Leads by just shy of 0.7 of a second. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. All right now, anybody's race.
Charles Davis Jr. already picking up a heat race win during Eastern Storm, looking to get another one and lock up what we just mentioned for Brady Bacon, a decent starting position in the feature field. Briggs Danner going to catch up to the tail tank of the 21 AZ of Dason Pursley coming down the backstretch, and Briggs Danner going to enter just above where Dason Pursley does, but Pursley gets caught up to Alex Bright meanwhile.
So able to catch up and not able to get by here as they work into turns 1 and 2. He's going to go in and look down on the lower side of the entry. Keeps it down there all the way onto the back straightaway. Able to keep pace for a moment. Saw him have to kind of wait on the car a little bit. Now going to pick up pace once again over into turns 3 and 4. So he's trying to move his line around. But right now, again, with that added moisture from the rainfall earlier, it's made things really tough for these drivers. But they're starting to move around. Once you get the 410s out here in the wings, it'll start to widen the track out a little bit more. But right now, don't want to take your eye off of it because it is close quarters racing from Bright all the way back.
Dason Pursley getting a little bit better of a drive off into and out of the corners compared to Alex Bright and Briggs Danner both, as he shortens up that exit just enough to get more of a run, maybe pick up a little bit more grip where less cars are exiting on the racetrack.
And Bright now going to adjust his line down in front of the nose of the 21 there, so kind of took that line away from him, and he's going to show it by gapping him on the back straightaway. That actually forced Pursley to kind of reevaluate there. He had to get at the throttle. Danner thought he was going to get a run on him. Danner still right there on his back bumper as the white flag flies in this one for Charles Davis Jr. in the 47, trying to pick up his second heat race win of the week here. Going to work to the back straightaway. Amantia has made up a little bit of ground on him, but running out of time to try to get up and maybe challenge. As I say that, really closes up in turns 3 and 4.
Charles Davis Jr. going to come out of turns number 4. He will take the checkered flag in Rod End Supply Heat Race number 2. Joey Amantia second, Chase Stock and Alex Bright, Dason Pursley, Briggs Danner round out your top 6. Corbin Haslett and Hunter Maddox going to round out 7th and 8th.
So he joked around last time he won a heat race, asked if that was the AARP sponsored one. Well, he's going to meet Drake on the front straightaway again. The driver to Buckeye, Arizona, the MP Environmental Stanton Triple X chassis. Black Magic Beat Breaker number 47. Race fans, give him a hand. Charles Davis Jr. getting the win in Rod Supply Heat Race number 2. Amantia crossing in second. Stockin, Bright, Pursley, Danner, Haslett, and Maddox. Unofficially rounding out your field. He'll pull up down here in the Williams Grove Victory Lane. We're going to send it down to Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. Charge and Charles Davis Jr., the multi-time Arizona Sprint Car champion, collects the win here in Rod End Supply Heat Race number 2. And Charles, you've been doing this for decades upon decades, and you've been in a lot of races. I'm sure that they were able to get in after some rainfall. And tonight, Williams Grove seems exceptionally fast. Is this one of the fastest racetracks you've ran on after we've had some rain in the day?
Yeah, and I like the juiced-up racetracks. I suck on a dry, slick track, so we got lucky with some rain there, got the car freed up enough, and we were pretty good there for another AARP heat race win.
And he collects that second AARP heat race win. Once again, that's Charge and Charles Davis Jr., your winner of Rod End Supply Heat Race number 2, or as he likes to call it, AARP Heat Race number 2.
Thank you very much, Drake. It's odd for me to hear him say that he doesn't do well on a slick racetrack, because that's where he's had the bulk of his success racing out in Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California.
Yeah, it's quite surprising, but we do see him compared to, here tonight in that Grandview Speedway where they really did put a lot of moisture into the racetrack. That 2 heat race wins for Charge and Charles, and then obviously Bridgeport Speedway and last night at Big Diamond, 2 completely different surfaces. So hard to say, and I think he's probably pretty decent on any surface, but maybe just giving himself kind of a hard time there.
So he will clear down into the pit area. We will continue on with TJ Ford's heat race number 3. Tom Harris at a Banbury, Oxfordshire, United Kingdom, in the Skegness Raceway, Claxton Maxon number 84. Next to him, Jake Swanson. He's out of Anaheim, California, the Honest Abe Roofing, Claxton DRC, Bennick Enterprises number 2B. Next row for the inside will be the Avanti Windows and Doors, Premier Recycling, Apache Transport, Mach 1 number 3P. That's going to be Kyle Cummins. And outside of him, the NOS Energy, Bow Foundation, MPV Express, Top Industries, Pro Source number 4. It's going to be Justin Grant. Mitchell Moles, Ryan Bold, Underwood Motorsports, AME Electrical, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Stanton Spike, number 19 AZ. He'll roll from the 5th starting spot. And outside of him, CJ Leary at Greenfield, Indiana, the Altos Power Equipment, One-Way DRC Chassis, BGE Darty Motorsports, number 15X. Final starter here in TJ Ford's heat race number 3. All the way from Oxnard, California, driven the Physical Medicine Consultants, Mesilla Valley Transportation, D-Transport, DRC number 41. That is Ricky Lewis. So that'll be your scheduled lineup here in TJ Ford's heat race number 3. Final heat race of the evening for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. Have your Lawrence Chevrolet 410 Sprint Cars. Next to the racing surface, they'll have a pair of heat races tonight. 19 of the wing variety on hand here at the Grove.
And how about this latest charge by Mitchell Moles, where he was your runner-up last night at Big Diamond Speedway. He currently leads Eastern Storm points. 6th in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying tonight, which means if he does make the transfer, quote unquote, out of this heat race, that he'll start on the pole of tonight's feature event. So things really looking up for Mitchell Moles ever since he picked up that local win at Tri-State Speedway during Indiana Midget Week.
We talk about how much of a mental game this is. There's a lot that goes into the preparation, the setup, but the mindset of the driver and how comfortable they are in the car plays so much into it. And Moles, like you said, really starting to pick up the pace here. Has a pair of podiums. His second one last night. Has 3 top 5s, 14 top 10 finishes, and 19 starts. He still has an average finish of 8th, so he's certainly not out of the ballpark, but he's starting to get a little closer to home base.
Yeah, things have definitely headed in the right direction, and I think I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers on the racetrack right now that would tell you that it is a mental game if you were to ask, which is all of them.
So Tom Harris in the 84. If you're just joining us here and you're wondering, who is Tom Harris? Look up Briska F1. He is a 4-time Briska F1 Stock Car World Champion. He currently leads the standings over on the other side of the pond. Has 11 wins, 5 of those in finals. He's won at Skegness, Kingsland, and Bradford. He's won twice. It's full contact racing. It's pretty interesting cars. They actually have wings on them, but it's a fully contained stock car.
Well, and so think about what that's like for him to have so much success there, come over here and have to recalibrate to an entirely different kind of racing, and then try to compete with the best of the best as well.
Well, and there, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, they operate off of what they call a grading system, which is a point system, and it's a full invert for him. So if you're familiar with like IMCA, think of that, only full contact stock car racing. So now into the open wheels where you definitely don't want to make contact. They'll work by the NOS Energy start can. And it's going to be the 2B of Swanson taking off at the lead. Justin Grant going to follow him up into the second spot. Harris, a little bit of a rough start. Maybe something going wrong in the car. He just does not have the speed as they work to the back straightaway.
Yes, and Tom Harris going to fall to the back of this one as CJ Leary and Mitchell Moles both get by him. Kyle Cummins riding in third. Justin Grant and Jake Swanson going to bring him around to complete lap number 1.
Swanson leading. Grant trailing by a little shy of 0.8 of a second right now. Cummins, Leary, Moles, Harris, Lewis. Still running at your running order. Ricky Lewis, a little bit of the traveler here. He's got wins in Indiana, Texas, Kentucky. 7 in total here coming into tonight. Trying to find some speed here as we roll through TJ14 race number 3. Jake Swanson, though, they have been tuning and dialing on that car all week long. Of course, he quite the master of shock technology, and of course, Scott Bennick, who kind of set the stage for the custom shock field as he's going to fly the front end around to the front straightaway. Continues to put distance between himself and Justin Grant. 1.376 seconds. He has company, though.
Yep, suspension looks good on the 2B as Justin Grant's going to try to fend off a charge from Kyle Cummins getting into turn number 3. Cummins going to enter just slightly lower than Grant, but it looks like Ricky Lewis going to come to a stopover in turns number 1 and 2.
And problems with the driver, the number 41. He will draw the caution here in TJ14 race number 3. So safety crews up on scene with the Mesilla Valley Transportation. Morris Farms, number 41. Mentioned 7 wins. Lawrenceburg on April 20th was his first win of the season. 1 at Paragon, went down to Lone Star down to Kilgore, Texas with the ASCS Elite Non-Wing Series. The Boss Series in Kentucky. Back in Victory Lane at Paragon, Circle City, and most recently Lincoln Park. Josh Cole. Josh Cole, you are our Inside the Oval winner here tonight. Report down to the AMSOIL booth. Again, Josh Cole, you are our AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner here this evening. You need to report immediately. So single file past the NOS Energy start can. Jake Swanson so far has been dominant in this one. Justin Grant sitting in second. Kyle Cummins was starting to tap on the door there to see if he can maybe make a run for that runner-up spot. We'll see if he can utilize the restart. Leary in fourth, Moles and Harris. Round out your lineup as we go back to green.
So 6 cars remain in this one, which means they are all going to, quote-unquote, transfer out of this TJ Forge Heat Race number 3 into tonight's Eastern Storm night number 4 at Williams Grove. So as far as some of them are concerned, if they're not going to try to advance their starting position in tonight's feature field, meaning they got a favorable qualifying time, they might just ride around here and at least try to make sure that they finish this one.
You know, and give them a chance to kind of experiment and look around the racetrack as well. Grant really good here on the restart. Swanson just kind of gapped him there at the beginning, but now Justin Grant going in. He's going to go in. He's going to cheat it up to the cushion at the exit turn number 2. Look at the drive to the back straightaway. Question, though, is does a line exist for him to try to get a run over in turns 3 and 4? Swanson going to cheat just a little bit higher. He is all the way up at the cushion. Grant going to try the middle. Looks to the inside. Gets the line taken away from him, though. Good battle for the top spot.
So Justin Grant going to search for a way around the 2B. Jake Swanson all but fending off the 4 of Justin Grant as they get into turn number 3, and Justin going to go toward the top side of the racetrack. Jake Swanson going to float just a little bit higher. Grant going to try to get a better drive off the corner. Not going to get it done this time.
Swanson will pick up some of that momentum. Saw the car kind of weeble onto the left side and kind of hunker down there for a second. He had to correct and get it back underneath him. Now has to wait on the car to the back straightaway. Grant still right there in the hunt. Now going to look to the inside. Battle for the lead into turn 3. Denied the advance. White flag going to fly this time. Grant is right there hunting.
Jake Swanson hanging on for dear life as Justin Grant's going to give it one more shot around turns number 1 and 2. Gets a good dig, but it's not enough. Jake Swanson going to get away as Grant gets loose coming out of 2.
Boy, Grant, that car kicks sideways on him, and that's going to allow Kyle Cummins to maybe close in here as they work into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And TJ Ford's heat race number 3. Swanson going to dance the left front around to the front straightaway, and he will hold on for victory. In round 3 of heat race competition, Grant can hold on to second. Cummins, Leary, Moles, Harris, and Lewis unofficially going to round out your field. So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you out of Anaheim, California. Driving the Honest Abe Roofing, Bannock Enterprises, Claxton DRC number 2B. Race fans, give him a hand. Jake Swanson picking up the win. Justin Grant in second. Kyle Cummins, CJ Leary, Mitchell Moles, Tom Harris, and Ricky Lewis. Problems sidelining him early. He will be credited with a DNF in the 7th position. So Swanson going to roll down here to the front straightaway, and he's going to catch up with Drake.
Thank you so much. A masterful drive for the 2017 USAC West Coast Sprint Car champion, Jake Swanson, collecting his 3rd heat race win on the season. And the decals say this is it's the bear car. It's one of them. I'm blanking on the name right now.
Yogi.
Yogi, thank you. I wasn't born in the 90s like you, Brian, or the 40s. Anyway, Jake Swanson, a masterful drive nonetheless. And Jake Swanson, you were able to hold off Justin Grant, and he gave you a couple of good runs for your money there towards the end. How were you able to hold him off?
Track's pretty fast right now, but hey, it's good to talk to you again, Drake. It's been a minute since I've been here. I just got to give a shout out to my guys, Scott Bennick, and Matt and Derek. These guys have been working really, really hard, and we don't have much to show for it this week. So really thankful for them, and we're just working tirelessly trying to get some speed, and I feel like we're definitely gaining on it. We're going in the right direction. So want to give a shout out to them. It's it feels good to be able to be fast with the Honest Abe 2B, and hopefully we can just kind of keep on progressing and go from there. We got I think a little bit more work to do, but we're definitely gaining on it. So here pretty shortly, this thing will be in the winner's circle.
Jake Swanson and 2B Racing making strides on this program. And Brian, yes, that is the Yogi Bear race car. And you just mentioned to me a little bit ago, that is a baseball reference, not a TV reference. So the more you know.
Yogi Berra, to be exact. So much to learn, our young Padawan. So much to learn, but you'll get there. More Chevrolet 410 Sprint Cars on track. Save us, please.